welcome back to the Solution Podcast. This is a reaction on Rollo going on Fresh and Fit and arguing with Destiny and Sneako.
About his tweet statements, right?
That tweet that we saw last week.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. What was it? Don't get married.
Yeah.
What was the second one?
Avoid family
creation and vasectomy in your 20s.
Yeah. And then after that, there was like about 5 usual red point, build yourself up as a man stuff. Which everyone is going to be good with that. But it was mixed up with some very bad advice, some anti-life statements.
Yeah, crazy.
Which is, it's quite shocking to hear that to hear that from Rollo. And to be honest, Sneako stood up and he's not having it. He's not having it. Someone who's finding himself and getting into religion himself. So
shout out to Sneako, man.
Shout out to Sneako.
Shout out.
Also, Destiny's just thrown in here as as your standard great anti-red pill arguer. That's kind of what he is.
Opposition.
He knows. Yeah, he's just come in as like someone who.
That's what the blue hair's for, right?
That's why he's got blue hair.
For the blue pill.
Like I've always thought about Destiny. It's always like he is truly red pill to the point that he knows he's just worked out all the arguments against red pill.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So you never know with him. I mean, he's a gamer, so anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Right, let's start this. Rollo's just ringing into the show, and we're gonna react.
Cool.
Can you hear me? Okay.
What up, man?
Yeah, we got you. Okay. So let me explain a few things here. I wasn't able to do this the last time you guys were talking about this, but so about. Gosh, is it now 2 weeks ago? I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that with Derek Moneyberg? Or was that Monday?
Monday.
Monday. Sorry, let me get my camera back up there. So Monday, you guys were talking to Brandon Carter. One of the things that Brandon was talking about was you got to love money. You got to be on top of your game. And I love Brandon Carter, by the way. I think he should be a stand-up comedian. I mean, the guy is that funny. He's a great guy, right? But when you guys are on that show and you're talking to him and he's talking about how he doesn't go to he doesn't go to Publix, doesn't go grocery shopping for himself. He doesn't go do his own laundry. He doesn't have a car. I mean, it's Brickle, right? but he doesn't have like some basic stuff because his philosophy in life is that anything that takes him away from his grind, anything that takes him away from anything that would distract him or that would be financially or mathematically not a pragmatic choice for him to make, as far as like if he's spending time going grocery shopping or going and getting food for himself or whatever else. I'm sure he's like into meal prep and everything else, but pretty much everything in his life is outsourced, because anything that he would be spending that time himself to go do, he could be losing money doing that at that time. So when I was listening to this, and I was thinking about this myself, because I was actually at the same time, I'm like, helping a friend move and all this. And I'm thinking about this. I'm going, you know what? If you want to be a high value man, if you want to get to that apex level as fast as you can, that's it. How is that not the best way to go about it? Okay. So the point of that whole tweet, which was basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started like snowballing into something else. I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire, because it was just easy, low hanging fruit for these guys, because they think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about. And it's not. Okay. That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice. Okay.
Was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical, okay? It's showing you. Now, listen, fuck up for just fucking 5 seconds, okay? There's no fucking joke here, because...
Rollo, what are you doing?
He came in with the wrong attitude, man. He came in uncomposed.
Yeah.
This guy is this whole incident is getting to him.
It's getting to him, and rightly so.
He was watching this on the internet, just fuming.
Yeah.
Okay, he used this guy Brendan. Is it Carter?
Yeah,
right?
Brandon Carter.
Brendan Carter, right? And he's basically saying that tweet kind of how Brendan Carter moves inspired that tweet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, according to Brendan Carter, the way he gets things done for him because he doesn't want to stay away from his grind or his purpose or whatever, to such an extent where he gets people to do the laundry or he gets whatever, because he just wants to stay focused, right?
Yeah.
In his grind in order to become what?
To get to where he's trying to get to.
Basically, to not become an average man.
Yeah. He's seeking
to become
optimum,
a high value man, right?
Yeah, he's seeking optimum performance.
Optimum performance.
Yeah.
And he's saying that that's what inspired that tweet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So what I'm taking from that is, so for people to become a high value man, you have to have that level of focus. All right? And for what he translated that to mean is no family creation.
Yeah.
Don't get married. Vasectomy in your 20s.
Disgusting.
That's what he translated that into. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that, but he used Brendan Carter because you have to have that level of focus.
Yeah.
Now, in order to have that level of focus, you're not Brendan Carter, so you're not going to have that level of focus. So for the general population, okay, to help you get to this high value man status, all right, since you don't have that focus, you have to avoid these things and then you'll get there. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
And then you'll get
right.
there. So he says it's not an advice, but I'm sorry, it is an advice. It is an advice.
Just
It's
putting
funny.
it out there.
You've explained what he meant better than him.
But
he's
what-
emotional.
He's
not thinking straight.
He says, because
Or
his whole thing is
it's not well thought through.
So this Brendan
told to do it.
Yeah, Brendan Carter inspired him, and he took that to mean, okay, the general population is not like Brendan Carter.
Yeah.
They're not as focused as Brendan Carter. Their
they're
purpose.
not as disciplined.
Guess what you guys need to do.
You
need to get a vasectomy in your 20s.
Yeah, do it this way.
You need to not
the
get
family.
married. You need to avoid family creations. And he reiterates. He goes back. It's like, don't get married. Avoid family creation. So it's not good enough to not get married. You have to avoid family creation.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Not knowing that having children early for a lot of people is motivation to go out and do better. They might have been like fooling around.
That's a very good point.
And they're like, exactly. They don't give holistic answers. They just give these one-dimensional, stupid, hypothetical answers. Like you need to give the whole.
You touch on a very important point. The benefits of marriage.
Exactly.
Married men make more money than unmarried men.
Yeah.
Married men live longer than unmarried men.
Yes.
If you look at all the benefits of marriage, it is really helpful to a man.
Yeah.
So what does that mean is, if you don't get married, the likelihood of you engaging in bad things and all of that type of stuff increases.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
that list is fueling that.
Yeah.
You're gonna create those bad habits, and then when you get to your 30s, you're gonna get married and reverse your disectomy. You're gonna have these bad habits. It's the same as the modern woman. You going into work and then wanting to start a family in your 30s and get married. You've developed all these bad habits. And then now you want to change. Yeah, it's a slow process.
And he's
making
already
a transformation.
He's already getting triggered.
Yeah.
He's already getting triggered. He's already getting upset, getting angry because he knows he messed up.
Yeah. We're calling out. People have been calling out it's BS because it's BS.
Well, that's the thing. I think the pressure of marriage and having that responsibility actually just wakes up. Can wake
step
up.
Those who are up for the challenge, step up.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
Everything that's come out of both of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection because it's easy fucking clicks for you. So here's the whole thing. When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, don't be concerned with.
When he's mad, his glasses get uneven on his nose. You see?
Let him finish.
Okay.
I'm really mad about this, bro.
Shall we keep going? Are we just gonna have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to deal with? Okay. So here's the deal. When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneako, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now,
advice or not?
you would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your fucking hands tied
not
behind your back.
necessarily.
Yeah.
There are guys right now. There are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well. Who all have.
That's one thing about society today. They teach that children are a burden.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I was taught children are a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they've reversed
that's
it.
true. That was in what we were taught as well.
Yeah.
All throughout human history, men were encouraged to get married early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they spent their time working for their family.
Yeah.
Because it grounds you.
Yeah.
It grounds you, makes you more focused. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this idea, but if you ask someone like Rollo Tomassi, he's gonna say, "Oh, look at the quality of women that you have today. Look at the divorce rate, 80%, and so on and so forth." He will use those, you know what I mean, those statistics in order to justify, you know what I'm saying, men getting married later in life, men getting married, you know what I mean, like. But that doesn't actually help men.
Yeah.
In the long run, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like that's like a discipline.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids, but you know what they try to do? Try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
Try
so
to make sure nobody knows about the fucking kids. Okay.
So what is advice?
So here's okay. First off, this is not fucking advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now, but here's the thing. You know what you're gonna say, because here's the deal. When I was on whatever podcast I was telling this, I was saying exactly the same thing here. Is that everything that comes out of somebody's mouth on Instagram or on Twitter or on a YouTube, there's no way you can't go on there without somebody going, "This is what these guys are saying to do." Because if you have this set automatically, that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice. It can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. It can't be nothing.
It is advice.
I'm sorry. How is getting a vasectomy data?
Yeah.
Hold on. Some statistics on vasectomy. The chances of getting pregnant after vasectomy reversal are 75% of the reversal is within 3 years of the original vasectomy.
What's that mean?
75%.
If the vasectomy, if 75%, if the reversal is within 3 years.
Okay.
If the reversal is within 3 years, you get 75% chance of faking. If it's within 3 years.
So if you're in your 30s and you're in your 20s,
how are you going to become a high value man in your? Let's say you get a vasectomy in your 20s.
Yeah.
Are you honestly going to become a high value man within 3 years?
Yeah.
Let's not forget. You're engaging in promiscuity, because the whole idea of having a vasectomy is while you are out there having sex with women, while you out there being
Catching
promiscuous,
50 bodies.
yeah, exactly. While you out there being promiscuous, you're not getting these girls pregnant. That's the whole point. That makes you even more promiscuous. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes you even more promiscuous.
You get a thirst for it.
You get
without any consequences.
You develop a habit for it.
Yes.
And the fact that there's no consequences to it, it will increase that that thirst for more. Do you see what I'm saying?
Turning the men into monsters, man.
And the reality and monsters.
Turning them into monsters.
And the fact that no man becomes. Ask any high value man or any man that's worked hard to get to a certain level or monetarily wise, right? Ask them if it took them 3 years to achieve that. It takes them longer than that. Yeah. So after 3 years. 3 years. Look at the statistics. 75%. And apparently 55% if it's been 3 to 8 years since your vasectomy. My days.
55%.
50 to 55%.
Wow.
If it's been 3 to 8 years since your vasectomy.
Jeez. So there's a 50-50 chance.
So there's a half chance that you might not even be able to have kids anymore.
Yeah. So a lot of men, they don't become successful till in their 40s even.
Yeah. And he's telling them to do this at their 20s.
This is a terrible thing. From what I know, just growing up, that this whole vasectomy thing is only something a 50 or 60-year-old man might get if he's already got 8 children or something like that.
And just wants to live out his life.
Without having more kids.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's getting he's getting
understood.
later in stage, he can't really afford to have any more.
Yeah.
And it's a precaution for that side. Not to like
do it to the younger
and
children.
He keeps saying this is not an advice.
Yeah.
Bro, the first rule.
It's like 8 bullet points.
8 bullet points, and the first one is don't get married.
Yeah.
If I tell you, bro, don't get married.
Yeah.
Does that sound like
that's advice?
Am I giving
that's
you
advice?
That's
advice, but he's saying that's data.
That's data. Yeah.
See, what he's trying to say is he's putting out neutral information, but the language he's using is not neutral. It's suggesting.
It's
which
suggestive.
is advice.
Yeah, it's just advice.
Exactly.
Avoid family creation. If I tell someone, avoid family creation, I'm not advising you. I'm just saying.
He needs to check his grammar.
It's like, come on,
he's
man.
Giving advice.
Vasectomy in your 20s. It's not an advice.
Because that information there, how Octavio's reading it from the phone, that's information. It didn't allude. That advice is alluding to the way he wrote it. Alluded to get
and let's not forget
those things.
And let's not forget, he's known as the Godfather of the red pill.
He's influential.
You're telling me
his words carry weight.
You're telling his words carry weight. His words carry weight. You're telling me that all the young men within the red pill world they take his word, his advice as gospel.
Exactly. That's so irresponsible. So
do you understand? This is what I'm saying.
Don't listen to that.
This is feminism for men.
Listen to the Solution podcast.
Podcast.
Can be just delivered sort of like here's some data for you to look at. Okay, nothing can be set. Nothing can be given to you without somebody going, well, the reason why you're telling me this is because you're telling me that this is the best way to live my life. Okay. So when I'm watching Brendan Carter and I'm watching all this going on, and I'm looking at like guys that I know and guys that you know as well. And when these are the guys who are like saying, be on your game, do this, do that. They're the ones that are giving this advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
Maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that is this over the fucking top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay. It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay, here's the quickest path to. If I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million,
that sounds like advice.
Is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it?
Look at the thought.
Yes.
If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you going to go jump off a cliff? By the way, here's the other thing is I'm also responding to Dr. Richard Reeves in this as well.
Okay, there's a lot of context about it, sure, but all the rest of the.
This is just one thing. If it is taken out of context, why doesn't he explain the context more with with Richard V, whoever it's a response to?
How can you take that out of context? Just read that out. Do not get married.
No
Avoid family creation. But say that I'm not taking nothing out of context. I mean, come on, man.
There's no way to defend this.
Go on.
How you taking
The
that
only
out
way,
of context?
the only thing he could have done is change the wording of the first 3 points. Like, if it's hypothetical, number 3, vasectomy in your 20s. Like, be celibate. Why can't you just be celibate? Like, there's other solutions to that. Why did you go there?
It's like use a condom.
Exactly.
Don't sleep with girls.
Exactly.
Stay focused.
Period.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why go there?
Why risk?
Yeah.
Your
health.
Why risk your health?
Yeah.
Why go through something that might give you that might make you not be able to have children later on in the future?
Yeah.
Why do that?
Yeah.
Why so extreme?
Yeah. There's an agenda.
Yeah.
The list, you're equating vasectomy to lifting, game, play to your strength, resisting up on easing your focus. The rest of it sounds like general advice.
Okay, well let's say so let me ask you. So is it the vasectomy part that's throwing you off?
Genuine good advice, right? The rest of it.
Is it the vasectomy part?
Yeah.
The vasectomy part? Do you agree with pretty much everything else except for the vasectomy part?
The first 3 is weird because then I don't even know what the red pill idea of a high value man is. Is it just being rich? Like, what's the point of having all this money and not having a family?
Facts.
Yes,
Why be that rich? The guy who's always grinding. Whoa, Brandon Carter doesn't have to do his laundry.
What's the motivation?
What else are you going to do with your life?
Right. right?
Exactly.
Maybe this is actually meant so that you'll get it. You'll have a freaking epiphany about how all the shit that you have to sacrifice to get to that in the first place. What are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to live the kind of life, let's say like a Brandon Carter is, where you're going to outsource your entire life? Or are you going to actually have kids? Is that something that's a priority for you? Because I will tell you right now that if you follow this if you were to actually follow this list right here, that is the fastest way for you to get to a point where you are more high value, right? So, but here's the thing. So when I say that, people go, well, that's not what a high value man is. A high value man is what I define it as, which is he's got to have a good, loving, devoted wife. He's got to have 3 or 4 kids or 10 kids, depending on whatever culture you're talking about. All of this stuff that makes up whatever that person who happens to have that is, then that's suddenly the definition of what a high value man is. So what I'm saying this is the best way to become a high value man. I'm not saying this is the only way to become a high value man. I'm just saying that this is the fastest way to go and do something like that.
We've been talking a lot for 5 minutes. What is your definition of a high value man?
It doesn't matter. That's not what I was talking about in this.
It doesn't matter.
I have what you're talking about. That's what the first part of the tweet is: how to become a high value man.
The fastest way to become a high value man is to recognize the fact that you've got sacrifices to make. Okay.
So like what is that? Telling like stories from Vietnam. Like, just say, what is a high value man? It's the first part of the tweet. What does that mean?
You tell me what a high value man is. Because here's the thing: is it doesn't matter what I'm going to say is a high value man. You guys are fucking
because it's your fucking tweet.
Positive.
It doesn't matter.
This is so weird that he just can't. Yeah. He can't say what a high value man is.
It's a simple question.
Yeah, and it's the first line of his tweet.
Yeah, and
how to become a high value man.
He's the Godfather red pill. He should have that on memory. Like
he should be able to just say it straight up what it is.
A template of it.
I mean, we've all heard Myron's definition of a high value man.
Exactly.
Give us yours. Exactly. I understand everyone might have a slightly different version. Yeah. Let's hear your version.
Do you know what he's doing? He's so under attack. He doesn't want to put more information out there to get under attack even more.
No, he's avoiding.
He's avoiding it. He's deflecting.
It's deflecting. That's the word. Yeah, he's deflecting right now. It's a simple question. Your own tweet says how to become a high value, and then you give your bullet points on what you think. What you think the fastest way is to becoming a high value man?
Yeah. Even if it's personal.
Okay, so can you please tell me what you think a high value man is?
Yeah. And all he has to do is give his personal opinion.
But it's like you just gave a description or bullet points of what you think a high value man or the fastest way of becoming a high value man, and you can't define what a high value man is. What does?
Now you have to ask: was he told to say it? Or did he come up with it himself?
Yeah. Well, this is
a mission report from the Feminists.
This is feminism for men.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Yeah.
Red pill is feminism for men.
I mean, like the way he's reacting, it is like that. Those first 3 points were bought in. Yeah. Someone paid him to put them in there.
Exactly.
The entire point of feminism is to stop women. The fact that women enter the workforce is to stop women from having babies. Yeah. Okay, because they know once you enter the workforce, you have to study for it. So most of your life, you're gonna end up.
Yeah, your mind's off it now.
Exactly. You're giving away your fertile years to what? Yeah. To the workforce. Yeah. You're giving your fertile. It's all geared towards stopping women from having families. It's all geared towards stopping women from having babies. Yeah. And that's why the birth rate has declined. It's all geared towards that. And look at his first 3 bullet points. It's all geared towards that.
The top 3.
Yeah, the top 3. Crazy. Don't get married. That's what feminism has been trying to do. Destroy marriage.
Crazy.
Avoid family creation. That's exactly what feminism encourages women to do. Yeah. Get a vasectomy. I mean, for goodness sake.
It's in line with their agenda.
It's completely in line with their agenda.
Crazy.
Matter what I say is a fucking high value man, because everybody takes this. The point of the fucking tweet is that everybody is going to take this and then insert their own definition of what a fucking high value man is.
What if a high value man is having 12 kids when you're 16? Then your tweet doesn't work, does it? What if your definition of a high value man is being getting into a trade and having 5 kids by the time you're 22? Then it also high value man is being an esports professional.
You're absolutely making my point for me right here. Okay, this is what I'm saying.
My point is that high value man You gave a list of 8 things. Do these 8 things to become a high value man. Do 1 through 8 to become A. And you're not defining what A is.
The fastest way to becoming a high value man is these things.
What is that?
Okay. So here's the thing. So if we're talking about family creation, we already talked. Okay, so you want to go? Okay, let's go one by one. You want to go one by one? Okay.
No,
So
I want to go before one by one. What is a high value man?
We can't have an argument if I don't even know what
the point is. The very fact that you're even asking me this in the first place is the actual point of the fucking tweet. Okay, so if you're going to be a high value man with the fucking hands tied behind your back, then what is that? What does that mean to you? That's the point. This whole discussion is the point of the fucking tweet.
I understand what Rollo's saying, that the whole point is for you to decide what a high value man, but the fact that he's under scrutiny because he made that statement and they're addressing it, he's under fire. So he has to answer it.
But he's just gave reasons on how to become a high value man.
Yeah.
He's saying this is the fastest way of becoming a high value man.
Without giving the definition of what a high value man is.
Exactly, without giving a definition. So all I have to do is look at what he wants me to do. So let's say I'm 20 years old. All right, I want to become a high value man. Let's see what the Godfather of Red Pill says. Okay, don't get married. Okay, all right. Okay, what's next? Avoid family creation. Okay, that goes with don't get married, right? Yeah, cool. All right. What's the third one? Vasectomy in your 20s, and I just turned 20. Oh, shit. All right. Damn, boy. But I guess it makes sense. That means I can just have loads of sex.
Yeah, it's coming from the Godfather.
It's coming from the Godfather. It must be right. At the end of the day, I want to become a high value man. All right, the rest of the stuff I already know. Go to the gym, blah, blah, stay focused, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right, vasectomy. So I start just doing this for the next... It's all for what? To become a high value man.
Yeah.
Especially think of all the kids out there who haven't got their dad around.
Exactly.
And they're listening to Rollo and the whole red pill space.
It's dangerous.
Very dangerous stuff. The thing is...
But let me just say this, By following his advice, you are creating habits that later on, because humans are creatures of habits.
Yeah. Exactly.
By doing what he's asking you to do, you're going to create habits. And those habits is going to be very difficult for you to change later on in the future. Yeah. So if I'm going to get a vasectomy, it's so that I can engage in promiscuity and not get girls pregnant. Well, that's going to come with a few bad habits. That later on will affect my life in the future.
Facts.
Because it's going to make it more difficult for me to change that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just do this and then you get hit. It's, okay, what about all the habits that I'm going to develop along with following your advice?
Exactly. There's a lot more factors in play.
Yeah, there's a lot more factors in play. Yeah.
And possible health situations with STDs and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And the likelihood that you might not even be able to create a family later.
Exactly.
which it goes against the whole point of building yourself up to become a high value.
And Sneako's absolutely right. High value men for what?
Yeah. What's the end goal?
What, it's just to become rich? And then what?
And not pass it on?
Yeah. It's for legacy. Men don't become rich just for themselves. They become rich in order to pass on the legacy because they care about their children and what their children are going to become and what their lineage is going to be about. That's the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Which means the number one thing you should be protecting is your ability to
procreate.
Yeah.
If you'd have started with don't have sex before you get married, which is what the scriptures be saying.
Yeah.
Stay a virgin.
Yeah, stay a virgin.
Stay a virgin. There's your vasectomy.
Stay a virgin.
Yeah.
He could have said that. Nah, get a vasectomy.
Oh dear.
The point of the tweet was, you've got some conception of a high value man. Here are 8 points that you think you need to do to get to it. And now you're getting blown the fuck up on the vasectomy thing, which you probably realize is fucking retarded. But you're too old and stubborn to walk back from it. That's the point of this conversation.
I'm not too stubborn to fucking walk back from it, because the point of it was to get douche nozzles like yourself to fucking have this conversation in the first place.
How old are you, bro? Douche nozzles?
Yes. You guys are fucking idiots. Why do you guys come in here from fucking Twitch strap? Like, how you guys are legitimate in all of this? I don't know, because everything I've heard come out of you guys' mouth is just fucking confident ignorance. That's
No, Myron. Okay, I'm not asking you like in terms of the debate. You call yourself the Godfather of the red pill. You
call myself the Godfather of the manosphere, okay? Other people have called me that.
Okay, great. That's very.
Do you understand?
Okay, so as
Godfather or grandfather of the man? Which one is it?
Whatever it is, the old guy of the manosphere. What is your definition of high value man? This is the #1 talked about topic on all of these shows. So I want to get a clear definition from you. What is it?
You tell again. It depends on the person. It depends on the culture. Depends on the. So here's the thing. Let me tell you. Maybe I can explain this to you, Sneako, because at least you got your ears open here. The thing is that when we're talking about what's the top G, what's a high value guy, you probably haven't heard this because you don't read my stuff and you don't watch my shit. No. But I've also said this is like the red pill has to be for everybody, or it's for nobody. So if we're looking at a guy who's draped across a Lamborghini and he's got hot chicks with him, and we say that's what I'm aspiring to, but I'll never make that because I live in a fucking fishing village on the coast of Chile, right? That means I can never match that high apex of a high value guy.
The guy in the car?
But the guy who happens to live in those villages or happens to be in a different culture or in a different country or whatever else, he can still benefit from that because however he's defining himself as a high value man in his fishing village, maybe that's what he can aspire to.
It has nothing to do with Chile and the village and the car.
Here's the thing is you guys want me to say, okay, a high value man makes $100,000 a year. He's fucked 50 chicks. He's got like, that's the thing.
That's not what I want you to say. I disagree with that. I'm asking you because I come on this all the time.
Disagree with it. What I'm saying is the point of the tweet is so you will ask that question.
I'm past the tweet. I'm past that. Look, I'm asking as somebody who's really interested in the red pill. I listen to a lot of this content. I want to know what your definition is, because if you have a definition that's completely off of what I think it is, then I guess I'm not red pill.
Well, here's what I think guys ought to do. Would you like me to give you some prescriptions? Is that what we're trying for here?
No, I want to know your opinion of a high value man. What is it?
I think a high value man is whatever is contextually makes that guy a high value guy in whatever culture that he happens to be in. If that's money, that's money. Right now, that's what we tend to focus on right now. But if I'm going to say that,
high value man is a guy that has the things that makes him a high value man. That's
the things that make you a high value man. Okay, what is that? You know, we've been trying to.
Rollo's arguing that all he did is showed you the path to become a high value man, or the quickest path to becoming a high value man. That's his argument. Yeah. He's saying if you follow these instructions, this is the quickest way of you, and that could mean anything. You could be a high value man, could mean something in this country, and it could mean something else in a completely different country where it doesn't have the you know what I mean. That's his argument. That's why he's not defining what a high value man actually is. All he's saying is, look, I've given you instructions on the quickest way of becoming high value, and I'm looking at his instructions and I'm saying, this is destructive. Yeah. These instructions are destructive.
Yeah, but what's happened now is Sneako's like, all right, forget the tweet. Forget that tweet, everything in it. What is your definition of a high value man?
And he can't give it.
He can't give it.
Yeah.
And he should have.
Yeah,
he should have.
Yeah, it's worrying. Yeah, he's an author.
Yeah.
Define it.
Just kind of, because here's the thing. When I read the tweet, I interpreted it right with a higher step. Like, he's listing things that if you follow these things, right, and you actually follow them, you're probably not going to become a fuck up, right? And to be a high value guy, I would say it's a combination of things. It's obviously having your money on point, having social proof and status, having respect from your peers, having a network of other high value men, right? Which I agree with Kevin Samuels on that. Being fit to a degree. If you have all these things in place, you'll be considered a high value man by most people in most societies, right? If you have these things in place. Now, with that said, to get there, right, you obviously have to focus and get your shit together and make sure that you focus on getting there. What he's saying is all these, the list of things that he mentioned, if you follow them, it's going to mitigate your risk of becoming a fuck up and not getting to that point. as quickly as possible. And I think that's so important is that this tweet kind of gets taken out of context. He's saying the quickest way to become a high value man, avoid and do these things because you're limiting distractions. And he's using Brandon Carter as an example where he's in a monogamous relationship with a girl. He outsourced a lot of his things. Why? So he's able to focus on making more money. He's getting rid of obstacles. And I think that tweet demonstrates that. Yes. You're getting rid of obstacles so you can become a high value man in the quickest possible way. Now, I know the most controversial one is the vasectomy. Though there's other ways to get the same, I guess, effect from vasectomy. Let's say you use a condom. Let's say you pull out, whatever it may be. He's saying, okay, if you get the vasectomy, then we know for a fact you're not going to have children.
Yeah.
It's really no different than having a condom or pulling out or whatever it may be. The point is to not get a girl pregnant. How you want to get there is up to you, whether it's through a vasectomy, using condoms, whatever. But he's making it retard proof. Hey, vasectomy, because I know even if you are the dumbest guy ever, you can't fuck this up.
I don't think a retarded guy could be a high value guy.
No, when I say retarded, I mean as in stupid. But what I'm saying is that the point I'm trying to make is this list is the foolproof way, if everything is followed, for you to get your status up as quickly as possible in your 20s.
That's not what the list is, though. Because what you just said was advice, and he said it's clearly not advice. So you're interpreting it.
He said he's joking, and he's trying to provoke
joking.
people.
Like half of it was just for jokes.
But I'm telling you, I started out telling you guys how I interpreted that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right?
You're not wrong.
Right here.
You're not wrong.
So that people can interpret it how they want,
Exactly.
which will create discussion. That's the point.
Ain't it funny?
That's what he's saying.
He asked a question earlier. So you asked him a question, what is high value? You answered it. It's whatever you determine that to be.
No, that's bullshit. None of you guys believe that. If some guy comes on this show and he weighs 350 pounds and he says, I'm Diamond 1 in League of Legends. That's what I want to do with my life. Would you go, well, if that's what you really want, you're high value. You wouldn't say that.
No, but
Exactly.
once
There's a
again,
standard.
it starts in the mind. You're going to say, for example, oh, that's not true, which I agree is not true. But ultimately, you as a man decide what's high value for you.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Value is probably something that's determined by society. High value means that you have a worth to other people. You're just talking about being comfortable, having high self-esteem.
I agree, but the tweet...
You don't say you agree with me. I just said the total opposite thing you just said.
I agree at that point where, for example, people will determine you as high value. However, the tweet saying high value could mean, in your sense, whatever that means to you.
No, it doesn't.
What?
That's what he's saying.
No, he's not. He doesn't know because he doesn't have a good definition. Because he knows if he says anything, he's going to get pinned
You sound
down
like
on
the girls who believe they're a 10 because they describe themselves as a 10 in the mirror.
If you brought
That's
in
the
some
same
loser
argument.
the point.
and he's like, I'm high value because I'm a manager at my McDonald's, you probably wouldn't agree that he's high value.
Is that when he says high value, you're going to determine that as a man, what does that mean for you? Success is a part of it, yes, but their success could be owning a farm or having a business. It doesn't matter. He's saying to get to that point, you need focus. Ultimately, that's what he's saying. Just be focused.
I mean, look, we make fun of the girls all the time
Eliminate
for saying that they're 10 out of 10s all the time because they say it in their head, I believe I'm a 10 out of 10. No, that's ridiculous because society determines how attractive you are. Society determines how valuable you are. You can't apply that a lot. You can't make fun of the girl, the ugly fat whale who thinks she's a 10 girl boss queen, and then also say a high value man can believe it in his head.
Well, I gave you guys a 10.
You have a good definition. You talked about some shit, being relatively fit, having a network of people that are very social. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
that's what they're looking for.
Here's the thing. For me, I will define it because that will allow you guys to see where I'm coming from when I'm interpreting the
information. We know where you're coming from, but we have the tweet author here. He doesn't know where he's coming from.
Exactly.
He's a little lost.
He's let down the people.
What exactly he means. But
I think, again, the tweet, I think that's the important part of the tweet is that it allows people
to
he's
online, just
which is why we're talking about it right now. The tweet did what it was supposed to do. Why would you?
I'm giving advice to people. I don't want them to interpret it how they want. Otherwise, what the fuck is the point of my message? If
I'm not giving advice to people. That's the whole point of this. Do you want? It's like impossible to fuck. It's impossible to put anything out there without people interpreting it as follow these fucking steps. Here's your 12 rules for life, and you're going to live a happy fucking life.
Bring a high value man. That's literally what your tweet was. Do these things. High value. What is the wording of the tweet? Go back to the tweet itself.
Back to the wording of the tweet. So here's in that wording of the tweet. What's the last part of that? What's the last one? Resist easing up on your focus. Whatever's like, do you want me to insert what you ought to be doing? You ought to be coding. Is that what I should say? You ought to be becoming a professional athlete. I don't know what your fucking strengths are.
You can simplify and say work hard.
Again, so here's the thing. If I say, you know what, you ought to be an NBA player. And it doesn't matter if that you're 5'9", fucking stay on your focus and you're going to be the best NBA player you can possibly be.
No, that'd be terrible advice.
That would be absolutely terrible advice because this isn't fucking advice. That's why. Okay, this is a list that is meant to get so you get an idea of what the fuck it is that you're going to do so that you can become that high value man. Protect yourself. Don't get married. Avoid family creation. Vasectomy. Again, this is over the top shit. Anybody who knows anything about my material, when I throw this out there, they know this is over the top shit.
What else on that list?
Feeds the fucking fire for douche nozzles like
what else besides the
Shapiro.
I don't want to be a douche nozzle, but what else?
Yeah, besides number 3, what else here is over the top?
Besides vasectomy.
Well, live consistently, okay? Well, what if, like, some people will say, well, that's vanity, right?
Myron, there's no way you agree with that, saying
Well,
live
actually,
consistently.
hold on. For Rollo, it might be. Okay, to be fair.
Guys, see, here's the thing.
But you're missing, like, are you not hearing anything he's saying? Like,
See,
do you need to blindly agree with him? Because nothing he's saying is making any sense.
Bro,
It's not making any sense to you because you don't understand the fucking concept of the tweet. That's why.
You can't even
You
thoroughly
understand what I... Okay, let me hold stop.
You see, Myron's having trouble here. He's like,
Yeah.
I kind of don't. I don't
He
like.
doesn't
Yeah,
agree.
he's
I
trying to be
don't
loyal.
agree with this.
Yeah.
Kind of because it goes against a lot of things that he
Yeah.
talks about. a
But
lot.
he's praised them for so long.
Yeah.
You know, Rollo Tomassi, he's always praised them. He's always, you know, talked about him in a good light for so long.
Yeah.
And he's done some really good shows with him as well. So they've developed a bond. They developed a friendship. And Myron is, he's in a hard place right now. right now.
I mean, I think I've even heard it might have even be I can't remember from who, but it's like the Fresh and Fit show is based on his Rational Male book.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that
So
too.
we don't know what kind of, we don't know how deep that connection goes.
Yeah, I mean, Myron's trying to clean it up.
Yeah, he's trying to clean it up.
And Rollo's just digging deeper. Like, he should have just left. Like, he should have just like, look, man, you guys are retarded, and just left.
But they pretty much continue like this.
Yeah.
It does go on.
Yeah. But I have to say though, like your observation about the vasectomy starting off for the older men.
Yeah.
It's the same way they got the women with the abortion, like or contraceptives. Like just start off like in special cases, like for grape situations like that, or something like that, or health reasons.
Yeah.
And then it just got
Vasectomy
and then that idea evolved.
Vasectomy is like abortion for
Maybe
men.
even IVF probably was kind of for the older generation.
Started off that way.
The idea is to stop procreating.
Yeah.
That's the idea. So abortion for women.
Yeah.
You know, pills and all of that type of stuff. Yeah, contraceptives. And all that for women, and for men, the quickest way is vasectomy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's now promoting it.
Yeah. And now they're evolving that idea of the vasectomy to the younger ones.
To the younger ones.
And they're gonna keep evolving it.
But the idea is to stop people from basically having babies and creating families.
Crazy.
That's the idea.
The anti-life.
Anti-life, yeah. And while promoting other family structures, without going too much into it, while promoting other family structures, you know, that don't include male and female.
Oh, okay. Jeez, which is which is deaf as well.
Yep.
Which is they're on a big.
That the whole idea is they don't want families.
Yeah.
That's why they had to destroy marriage, because they don't want families and they don't want procreation to continue. Okay. That's why abortion was legalized. That's why vasectomy is now being promoted. But the whole idea is to stop life. That's why the birth rate has declined. The attacks on the institution of marriage, destroy marriage, all of that is geared towards stopping that. And then when you look at the other side, they're also promoting other family structures as normal. Yeah. All right. But we know those family structures do not create families.
Yeah, they're not self-sustaining.
Yeah. Well, that's the idea.
It's that crusade.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
There you go.
There you go, man. Another solution podcast, man.
Yeah.
This is a good one, man.
Yes.
See you next time, guys, man.
Next
Don't
time.
forget.